You look a lot at the technicals of all of this. So I don't know where you want to land on how the markets are moving today relative to these comments around China.
I don't think I'm going to do any better job than anybody else with respect to Mnuchin's comments.
But you think things are going to break out anyway?
I think the Dow's set up to break out. We think value might do a little bit better than growth here, and we like some of the pharmaceutical stocks. And the reason we think this is likely so is because NASDAQ made its high in April, its most recent high.
Right.
The S&P made a more recent high, and the Dow is right in between. And NASDAQ seems to be fading a little bit. And Mike and I were talking off air. Just it seems a little bit odd that NASDAQ could be right up near its all-time highs and have more new lows occur on a daily basis than new highs. It seems a little strange. So we like pharmaceuticals, so we think value might do a little bit better here.
Mike, I don't know what you want to talk about. I don't know if you want to talk about the technical aspect of all of this or this idea of what Steve Mnuchin is saying. This 90% number has been thrown about before. We've heard that. I thought
we even got 95 thrown around at some point. So, I don't think that there's terribly much new information in those comments relative to what we thought coming into the week. But reiterating those comments is not bad. And so maybe that means that they're looking for this path that the Treasury Secretary spoke about. I think for the market's purposes, if we don't get the new round of tariffs threatened or imposed, that's probably okay. And right now, I think, just to John's point about maybe this rotation, the market, the question coming into this week was, have we gone as far as we can just feeding off of extremely low bond yields, expectations of Fed rate cuts, and all these kind of safe, defensive, and large cap growth stocks holding everything up? Because there's a whole big tier of cheaper looking cyclical stocks nobody seems to want to touch. You want to talk about FedEx, you want to talk about Ford, you want to talk about whatever, depressed retailer out there, because people think that we're just marinating in this slow growth environment and we keep getting disappointing economic.
You know, the important thing about the Mnuchin comment, because I've been playing this over in my mind when he said it this morning, is it indicates to me that Trump wants to get this deal done. And I think that, and I wonder how you guys react to that. Am I misinterpreting that?
He is speaking on behalf of
Mnuchin is not freelancing here. I mean, he is in constant touch with the president, and I think it's almost like those words.
Well, the rule has been that Mnuchin and Kudlow sit on that shoulder of the president that says you really want a deal. And then you got Lighthizer and Navarro who've come out and taken a harder line. So, again, I don't know that anybody has inflated expectations of a deal going into this weekend.
What is baked into the cake, though, Monday morning? Meaning, if we wake up on Monday morning and the headline is already baked in that says what?
That we will continue to negotiate and hopefully get some kind of a deal and no immediate imposition of the extra tariff.
Anything less than that, the market moves down.
Market has an excuse to, but I'm not sure if it does. I mean, I think that it's also, John, feeding off of some pretty cautious sentiment right now. I don't think the market is geared up for up and away, and everything's going to go right at this point.
I think the cynics will tell you that if you get the deal, that's the time to sell. I don't necessarily know that's the case. But if we don't get a deal, we're likely to be in. But think about it this way: we haven't gotten a deal.
Say that again.
Well, hold on a second.
If
we get the deal, the cynics will tell you that you would sell the news, right? I mean, we're up 17% without a deal. If you got the deal, maybe it would be the time to sell.
So you think it's priced in?
I don't know what's priced in. I think there are a lot of experts who try to tell you what's priced in, but I don't think it's. I don't know.
Stephen asked a smart question, which I'll ask you. No. Stephen asked a smart question earlier in the hour, which I'll ask you, which was, if the Fed's going to move anyway later, should have they just already moved? And how does that?
I'm dubious on most central bank activities.
Me too.
They've created a monster. They'll ultimately have to kill the monster. When they do it, I don't know, but they're clearly behind the curve. We have a model that says they're 50 basis points behind the curve. Some would tell you they're 75 to 100 basis points behind. So they're going to break it. They always break it.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's action, even though it was relatively modest and the market was just kind of got to a high and was sort of settling back a little bit, it did show you there's sensitivity to where how the Fed wants to characterize its next move and the level of urgency it has about that. So if you have, Bullard, St. Louis Fed president, saying half a percent probably isn't justified in July, even though he voted for 25 in June, it sort of moves the dovish frontier of policy back from where the market hoped it was.
Right. Okay, final question. Chance the Dow hits record?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.